Man, serve that dick right. What a great feeling.
I think they might even go far in the meat.
Oh, I'm just playing Persona 5 Royal. It's this really cool game. You can... That did not hurt at all. I'm sorry, I didn't speak Yoshinese. You want me to play Super Mario World? Well, if you insist. It's been a while since I've done one of these. Wow.
BigAnf!
It was the year 1990. The Sega Genesis was dominating the market. People were slowly getting tired of the NES and looked forward to upgrading to the next console generation. It was that moment when Nintendo released their new console, the SNES, with one of the launch titles being Super Mario World. All I can say is, what a great way to launch your console with a brand new Mario game. One that refines everything the previous game did and take it a step further by introducing brand new mechanics. To this day, people are still debating whether this or Mario 3 is better. I'll let you be the judge on that one, because this game was a lot better than I thought the second time around, which pretty much dates my tier list. Anyway, this is my review on Super Mario World. The story is your standard Mario plot, which at this point I assume needs no introduction. Well, it's finally a legitimate adventure rather than being Mario's stupid dream or Mario Shakespeare's wet dream. Don't look that up. Anyway, we're introduced to Dinosaur Island, and Mario, with a little help from an old friend, Yoshi, will jump on platforms, take out Koopalings, and even shoot fireballs underwater so they can put an end to King Koop. Yeah, you know what? I'm tired of calling him that. I'm gonna call him Bowser from now on. Anyway, it's up to Mario and Green Mario and Yoshi so they can stop Bowser's shenanigans once and for all.
Like that's ever gonna happen.
The game is structured like Mario 3. Instead of disconnected hub worlds that have unique environments, Mario World has 7, technically 9, different environments in one interconnected world, while still having a more linear structure, with maybe exception to the first area.
Which is called Yoshi's Island, by the way.
Most of the worlds are well paced, an emphasis on most, having several levels that are well designed for quite possibly the most fluent and flexible controls Mario ever had. If you've watched my other Mario reviews, that may sound a bit redundant at this point.
I consider these to be the best controls for any platformer. Well, I believe the title should go to Super Mario Bros. 3 instead.
But it goes to show how the majority of the Mario series continues to improve on the controls. The jumping feels more precise than ever, movement is smoother than a Koopa Troopa's bottom, and there's a spin jump which, although the height isn't as elevated compared to a normal jump, can be used to destroy blocks and large enemies. Combining both jumps allow for so much finesse to the gameplay, making it really satisfying to complete levels, especially the harder ones. With these great controls comes with a very solid level design. Despite having less levels than Mario 3, I think that makes up for having less auto-scrollers, which, as you may know,
Is one of my least favorite type of levels.
yeah, there is one level on Chocolate Island that requires you to collect a specific amount of coins and complete it in a specific amount of time, and it's not entirely clear on what the requirements are to progress. Or maybe I'm just dumb, and you didn't have to find a secret route to get to the 6th castle. Also, in the Forest of Illusion area, I stumbled across the fortress level and the secret on complete accident whilst trying to find out how to get to the real castle. Navigation can be troublesome for some, well, for me it was, to the point where I had to look it up on how to do some of these levels. Yeah, but you're not really gonna have too much of an issue there. It's just I suck at this game. There's one ghost level that requires you to go through the exterior level. Normally the ghost type levels are my least favorite in Mario World because of all the backtracking, but this was pretty spooky and it was a pretty interesting level. Like most Mario games, enemies are your standard Goombas, Koopa Troopas, Boos, Monty Moles, list goes on. What? Let me see that again. Oh yeah.
I forgot.
But there are also brand new enemies with unique attacks, such as the infamous charging chucks, which some levels require you to take advantage of their attacks to create a path for you. Kamek also makes his introduction here. While they can be hard to predict sometimes, they are a fun challenge trying to dodge all their spells in order to create a path for you, just like the charging chucks. There may be a few more I'm missing, but overall, the enemy design is pretty good, and the new ones are a welcome addition to the series. Except for these sumo bros, simply because they're cheaters. Didn't expect that, didn't you? Like most Mario games, there are brand new power-ups for Mario to choose from. Like Mario 3, you can store your power-ups, but this time, you can only hold one, which is a little annoying since I had to backtrack to certain levels to get certain power-ups, while in Mario 3, I just went with what I got, as there was more of a selection that you can pick the power-up that would be most appropriate to use in the level. The mushroom gives you an extra hit point, and in this game, you only have 2. Technically more if you can get your spare power-up. To help prevent the game overs, you can also pick up 1-ups, which give you an extra life, and these are also found in bonus pipes if you manage to find them. Fire flowers and invincibility stars are also staples to the Mario series, and they're as good as they need to be, so nothing really to say. The new power-ups to World, in my opinion, are a bit of a mixed bag. The most obvious addition is the Cape Feather, giving Mario the ability to hover, fly, and melee his way through levels. This is very similar to the raccoon suit from Mario 3, except this time you can perform massive shockwaves, killing all enemies, but overall, it's nothing too innovative from its predecessor. There's also the Pea Balloon power-up, which, apart from one level, I do not remember using this thing at all, which probably makes it the most gimmicky power-up in the entire series. Now let's talk about the... Seriously, Yoshi, it doesn't hurt. Some of you may not know this, but this is the debut of the character Yoshi, who's one of the most popular Mario characters in the series. His appearance in World is slightly different because here he's more of a mountable that you use. Yoshi can eat enemies, breathe fire, he can also act as an extra hit point and an extension to Mario's power-ups, since you can use every power-up besides the Pea Balloon. There's also a new power-up that only Yoshi can equip called the Yoshi Wings, as you can use it to fly to secret levels. While I never got this power-up, it's used so you can enter Coin Heaven. Oh, so that's what those bonus levels were called. You also get a blue Yoshi too. Cool stuff. The bosses are exactly like how they are in Mario 3. 7 Koopalings and Bowser at the end. While Mario 3's bosses, apart from Bowser himself,
Obviously.
take place in the same arena. There's a lot more diversity in bosses this time. Iggy and Larry are the lowlight here, and part of the reason is that you just have to tip them off the arena, which can take its time, especially if you don't have the Fire Flower, which you can use to knock them off by sniping them. Morton and Roy both climb on walls to either crush you or stun you just so they can crush you. These bosses are pretty easy to dodge when you figure out their patterns, and I think they provide a good challenge to punish those who are too overconfident in the fight. Wendy and Lemmy both require you to jump on them whilst they appear from the pipe instead of the fake ones. This one's pretty easy unless you have difficulty in trying to avoid the lava bubbles. Yeah, I had to look that up too. Seriously, I learnt a lot about this game through research. And finally, Ludwig, who seems to be a combination of Bowser from the first game and Boom Boom from the third game. He's probably the best of the Koopalings because he feels more like the penultimate boss rather than
The actual penultimate boss.
He also has a different moveset, making him the most unique of all the Koopalings. Notice how I didn't say the best boss. That goes to... Bowser. They finally got Bowser right. You know what they say,
All toasters toast
third time's the charm.
toast.
This fight is epic. A Bowser fight that actually feels challenging, encouraging you to use all the moves you've been making over the course of the game into one truly final test. Easily, if not the best Bowser fight I ever witnessed. Oh, and I didn't even mention how good the music is. In fact, the whole game has so many well-composed tracks, with one of the best arrangements of the overworld theme. Nintendo really took advantage with the more advanced sound of the hardware, and hit it out of the park on their first try. Seriously, listen to some of these. Speaks for itself, right? Overall, I have a very positive opinion on Mario World, but these are some of the things that were not so positive. Am I nitpicking again? One disappointment for me is the lack of a convincing world like in Mario 3, toad houses, gambling houses, enemy encounters, and so on. These factors just make hub worlds of Mario 3 feel more lively in comparison, and makes it feel more like an actual world with different inhabitants over the land, instead of just an empty, barren island. Well, there's a fortress, you're rewarded for finding the secrets. Yeah, maybe it's just a me thing, but I'm probably nitpicking. It's funny because a game with world in the title, ironically, lacks a convincing world. In Super Mario World, you have the brutal fortress levels, which act as a bonus level for those willing to go out their way to complete them, as well as the secrets in which can be used to find the switches, which being activated create additional platforms. This is great because it encourages the player to go out their way to find all the secrets, especially considering the game gets really hard towards the end. You can also unlock 2 additional worlds called the Star World and the Special World, each having some of the most difficult levels in the entire game. Now I think I'm beating the dead horse here because I'm not the best Mario World player in town, so I didn't go back to play them because this game's just too hard for me. But they are there for those who are dedicated enough to try them out. And that was Super Mario World. This was surprisingly much better than I remember it being. At first I wasn't the biggest fan of World, as the navigation was a major turnoff for me, and whilst I still consider that annoying, I do appreciate this game a lot more now that I finished it. If I could change one thing from that tier list, it would be that Mario World would be an S tier along with Mario 3, which means this game also gets an approval and a half. That's another video done. Let me just take my umbilical cord off and relax. You know what, I'm pretty bored. Let's see what's on TV.
Welcome to Breaking News. Stay tuned to be informed on today's stories. U.S. rapper Travis Scott hints at running for president. A man in Egypt was persecuted after saying Cars 2 was his favorite film.
It's just the average news jargon. Can there just be some positivity nowadays?
And it seems that scientists have discovered a cure for...
You didn't start the fire, 'cause you did it and you have to fix it.
It never gets easy, and that's the fun. In a matter of speaking comes around like the...
I have no comment to say about that. Now, what did they mean by fire? Fire. Fire. It's just nonsense. It doesn't mean anything. You know what? I feel like checking it out. What in Lord Bowser's name is that?